It is your boy, Black Ronin, but back on at it again with another banger and fire video for y'all's out there today. They're y'all. Welcome on back to the channel. But guys, I gotta talk about today. Very important topic, but top 3 races of women that I personally believe us light-skinned, racially ambiguous, mulatto type men walking around here, if you do decide to have a family, financially stable and everything, these are the top 3 races of women that I personally would stick with, whether I'm doing decently, making decent money, or if I'm really successful. These are the races of women I would ideally stick with and procreate with. Let's get on into it. Now, another thing too I want to mention, if you got a son or a daughter, definitely show them this video, because I feel like a woman can benefit from this as well, because just knowing how. And also another thing too I gotta mention, by the way, I'm a purpose driven man, so I know what I want out of life, and I'm actually out here trying to build something. So I'm not the average man walking around, because like, do not get it messed up, guys. Like a average man that's just going through life, he moves very differently from a purpose driven man out here. So if you want the best of the best families, I do think a woman should also take note, if you got a daughter watching this video as well. So, hey, if this is the type of man that you want, this is what he's going to stick with for particular reasons that I'm about to get into. And also, as you got a son, you guys, you're raising a light-skinned, racially ambiguous mulatto type son, definitely show him this video, because I feel like he's going to benefit a lot. Listen, I'm a man who gets women, but at the same time, I'm not running through women like that. Like, I really don't like doing that. Basically, the only reason why I'm not married or nothing like that, like I said, I'm a purpose driven man. So a lot of women don't know what to do with a man that moves like that, because I really value a person for like that deep connection, guys. I just gotta have a woman that I really connect with, and I gotta have a woman that really do truly respect me. Like, that's very important to me, and sees my vision, sees where it's like exactly where I'm going in life. And she's like, you know what, I want to be a part of that journey. I want to help this man become great. I got a lot of respect for a woman that's on that type of time. But at the same time, I do know, listen, a lot of us purpose driven men out here, we tend to not have the most money, but best believe, if you sleep on this man and then 5 years go by, 10 years go by, he becomes the next Michael B. Jordan or somebody, or next Steph Curry, you're going to feel some type of way. You're going to be like, dang, I knew that person. I watched him become, you don't want to watch somebody become successful and have him just, scrape by everybody, But a lot of women, unfortunately, they let a lot of men like this slide, because due to society, keep in mind, guys, most society, like, they're not going to promote a man that's going somewhere, especially a man that looks like me. Yeah, they're not about to promote me in a good light that's going up in the world, like, they're not going to do that. So, but this video is meant to really help a lot of people, especially as you got a son out there, especially because when it comes down to dating and marriage and having children, especially you got a son with some real talent, you need to really tell him about the types of women that he should stick with. I'm not trying to police him. I'm not trying to police anybody. If you want to go step out and date this type of woman or that type of woman, you go right ahead. But listen, I get women, and I can tell you right now, these are the top 3 best races of women you should stick with as a light-skinned, racially ambiguous, or mulatto type male. Now let's get on into it. So coming in at number 3, you can't go wrong with a white woman. White women, you can't go wrong with them. And there's all different types, I would say, though, with white women, definitely take your time. Make sure that you get the one that you want. But I always do got a lot of respect for white women for one reason. Even when I wasn't even all really like much attractive like that, and and guess what, my personality still hasn't changed. I'm still a nerdy dude at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, I got tattoos and stuff, and more fit and everything, but I'm still a nerdy dude at the end of the day. But I'm just confident with myself. I'm not trying to, fit in with all these random random group of people, but I just move my own type of way. And I feel like with white women, they really do appreciate that compared to any other type of woman. Not to say other women don't appreciate that, but a lot of women, they see you, like they see the look of you, and they already expect you to be a certain type of way. And when you're not that way, it's a big turnoff. White women tend to have a lot of respect for a man that's very authentic, I notice, especially regarding us light skinned and mulatto type of men walking around. So I got to give them the number 3 spot. The only drawback to a lot of white women that I would say, a lot of them really aren't spiritual. So like God fearing. I'm not saying that, a woman can't mold herself to become that, but, like I got to have a woman that, she see that I move a certain type of way and she's on that type of time, so listen, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm not one of these whack ass churches out here that's going to condemn you. You can be like, tell you, like, no, I'm not gonna be like that. And plus, cause like guys, a lot of churches, they really contradict themselves. It's a damn shame you walk into a church and you see people 300-400 pounds up in there. Like nobody's telling these people, hey, gluttony, you gotta be careful with that. Like your body is a temple. I don't think people realize, guys, like how much better you feel as a person when you're healthier. I'm not saying you gotta have the perfect diet, but just put in effort, like hit the gym at least 3 days out the week, have some type of consistency, bare minimum, something, because you're going to feel much better about yourself at the end of the day to go much farther in life. So like, yeah, that's my biggest con. So like, I do understand why a lot of white women tend to avoid the church. A lot of women in general avoid, like churches and everything. But I don't think you should turn your back on God. I just don't think you should do that because, like a society that's God fearing, it tends to be a very strong, stable place to be. Like you're going to keep a lot of things in order and you're just going to see happier people. You're not going to see a crazy bunch of degeneracy walking around. So, having a woman that's on that type of time is really awesome. So white women, they get the number 3 spot. Can't go wrong with them. Coming in at number 2, melanated woman. Now, when I say melanated woman, these are 2 types of women I got to get into. So, dark-skinned black woman and mulatto type of black woman. So, so the mixed woman. Yeah, so, yeah, mixed mulatto woman, so yeah, and then you got the dark-skinned black woman. So, these 2 types of women definitely get the number 2 spot, but there are differences. There's definitely differences out there. Ideally, if you can find a mixed, racially ambiguous, light-skinned mulatto type of woman, that's really perfect for you as a man. You are going to have to look like, I'm going to be real with you guys, as a light-skinned, racially ambiguous man walking around here in America, you're going to have to search very hard in America to find one and really lock down one too as well, because, and understand these women are a wild card. So, similar to white women. So like you'll have some that, they're not really spiritual, atheists, and understand this is a very sexualized type of woman, like just us racially ambiguous mulatto type of people in general. We're very sexualized. So keep that in mind too. So if you see a lot of them, they may be bisexual, they may be poly, they may be a demisexual, like it's for that reason. Like they're very, very overly sexualized, and that's from all different communities. So just keep that in mind. It's also similar for the man as well, but it's a little different. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Like I understand why, they tend to be a wild card because us men, we get kind of a similar experience, but definitely not the same, not on the same type of level. So yeah, like definitely take your time to search for a decent one, out there. But yeah, pretty similar a bit to white women, but at the same time, I feel like this woman is the most important because if you're light skinned, racially ambiguous, you go through a very, very unique situation through your life in terms of experiences. It's not the same as a dark skinned counterpart. It's not the same as a white counterpart. You're slapping the middle, like guys, you're literally slapping the middle. So you're going to catch hate from all these motherfuckers coming in. It don't matter who it is. Even other racially ambiguous. Ain't that some shit, So, like, I feel like out of all the people, I feel like you're gonna definitely connect the most with this woman, 100%. So yeah, number two for her. And another one that's also tied, with the racially ambiguous mulatto type of woman, that is the dark skinned counterpart, the dark skinned black woman. I always hold the door open for these type of women because, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, like dark skinned women, again, not all of them, but I tend to have pretty decent experiences with them. I really like the ones, who really are confident within themselves and they're very open minded. That's another thing too. I have forgot to mention. I love a woman that's open minded because, like what you're basically telling me, you're not stuck on the stereotypes. You're not stuck on a specific type of man. You're very open minded, so you don't block opportunities from different types of men, whether that be your own community, whether that be outside your like outside your community, so that's one thing I do like. And if you come across a dark skinned black woman like that, dude, man, you can't go no wrong with her. And another thing too, a lot of dark skinned women, not all of them, but I feel like, man, they really the most closest. Like if we talking about spirituality and just more close to God and just decent habits, like if you find one that's really sharp and on point, she's really unbeatable. I'm not even gonna lie. Same thing with the mixed racially ambiguous mulatto woman. If she's got her head like guys, if she got her head on straight and she's moving accordingly, that these are some sharp women out here. If you got like somebody like It's Tay Tay Baby, somebody like her, oh man, untouchable. And one thing with me, I don't care if a woman got tattoos. A lot of men, they really trip about that, but I feel like you're just being your authentic self, at the end of the day. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all, every woman that has done me the dirtiest, they ain't have no tattoos or very little, in my opinion. So y'all can miss me with that whole tattoo argument. But yeah, so they get the number 2 spot. Number 1, a lot of people are gonna hate me for this one, but you know what? It's gotta be said. For specifically a light-skinned, racially ambiguous mulatto type of man, I gotta put Asian woman as number 1. I know people are gonna be pissed about this, but listen, out of all the women I've ever came across in my entire life, I've never met more down to earth woman that I truly connect with. Woman that like the type of things that I'm into. Like, she not. This is the one type of woman that's so open minded. So it's like, if you come at her and she sees you, cause look at me, guys. I'm tatted up. I know how to dress. And most women will see that and they think, oh, he's probably going to be this way or whatever. See, one thing I love with Asian women, I can really be my authentic self, and that's really respected. And as you got the style to go along with it, like they really do love that. It's not like a lot of other women. Listen, no offense to melanated women, no offense to white women, but it's like a lot of times, if you look a certain type of like if you walk looking a certain type of way, if you dress a certain type of way, you talk a certain type of way, it can turn off a woman very quickly, especially a melanated woman. White women, they're more of a wild card. It just depends on where you're at. Like I said before, white women, I give them a lot of respect because because with them, you ain't really, you don't have to be all the way there yet with a white woman if you're a light-skinned, racially ambiguous man, but they'll still rock with you. Even if they don't go nowhere, I still got to give them the roses for that. It's not the same with a lot of other communities, but in terms of a woman that just so down to earth, ones that I just really, really click with, because guys, like I said, I had my first experience with a Korean woman. Even though I'm not dating her whatsoever, I never met a woman that down to earth before. I never met a woman where it's like, wow, I can talk to her about things that really matter and she's still interested. Like I never seen that before in my entire life. So, man, like Asian women, man, like they hit different. Like in terms of body type, like they're not my go-to body type, but in terms of like internally and just how they operate and how open-minded they are, I gotta give them the number 1 spot, So I really hope that this helped you guys. You are a light-skinned, racially ambiguous mulatto man, and just know, like basically, like, hey, if you got a son, let him watch this video all the way down. I hope I kept this video pretty clean. I tried to, because I really want families to really take note on this one. By the way, on my channel, I really do be going in at times, but I had to make this video here for any type of families out here, any type of younglings out there who are new into dating. You're still trying to figure things out, especially in America, has chaotic and terrible the landscape has became for the topic of dating, and seeing the direction our country is going. These are the types of women that I would recommend. And also another thing too, when it comes down to women, as a man, you need to move around, start traveling. Forget the woman that's in your city. If they don't show you no love and you look attractive, you look decent, you carry yourself well, go elsewhere. They low vibration. Stop hanging around low vibrational people. And one more thing too, I am going to say, because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of kickback, a lot of pushback for this, but a lot of people are going to ask, well, where are the Latinas? Why didn't you put Latinas on this list? You really put Asians, like Asian women, over Latinas? Like, yes, there's a reason they didn't make the list. Latinas, in my opinion, I think you should be very, very cautious of them, especially as a light-skinned, racially ambiguous man. Why do I say this? Now, listen, I got nothing against Latinas. I deal with them from time to time, but I do got my guard up when I deal with these types of women. Keep in mind, if you don't know Spanish, you can hang it up with a good portion of Latinas. Again, not all of them, and understand too, there is places you will go and you get zero love. You get the most disrespectful behavior, I would argue, from Latinas out of any other woman, some places that you go. And then you go other places, you get a lot of love. So that's why, for me, Latinas, they not at the top, nowhere near the top of the list for me. Do they look good? Yes. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not down to earth, if I have to jump through hurdles just to get you, I'm not doing that. If you're not really attracted to me like that. And guys, it's so weird with Latinas. It's very rare do I see them with a decent looking man. They always with a fat dude, the baddest of the baddest ones. They always with a fat dude with a bunch of money. Or if you is a minority with them, you pretty out of shape and fat. That's the only time you're going to see them stepping out. But you don't really see them with, decent looking people. If they in the streets. So, that's what I notice. But again, different ones do vary. I would say for us, if you are going to go with Latinas, I would say stick to Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans tend to treat us pretty well. I would say from time to time, Cubans, Dominicans, I would try to stick with them. When it comes down to Mexicans, it varies. Where I'm at right now, fuck no. But if I go to New Mexico, okay, things get better. If I go to Vegas, things get better. So if they on the West Coast, I would say, yeah, try to stick to those type of Mexicans. But East Coast, Midwest, parts of, Texas and shit, nah, I'm good. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Let me know what you guys think. Get your boy Black Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. Y'all take it easy.